What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? It's a Friday night going into an early Saturday morning, and I feel like talking some game, dog. Who up? If you up, you get this Saturday morning. You like your game. Take this with your breakfast, your game dog breakfast. It's a side dish. We're gonna talk about some old school classics. This is the grand champion Zebo versus Greaser match. It's always talked about through different outlets, but this one here, this little short interview, is going to be told by the owner of Greaser, Rick Fowler. So, and I don't know how far Zebo was into his keep, or how many weeks of a keep he had before this. So if anybody might know that little information, you could tell me in the inbox. You could inbox it, hit up the messages with that information. Because I know, like I said, Zebo was a replacement. Now, how far apart the match was and how much work Zebo had, like I said, hit up the inbox. So I'm going to start it out. We had matched Greaser into Hudson's Tex, a highly thought out dog that Dean Hudson had bought from Maurice Carver. Dean Hudson was, he was a part of the core of the dog game back then. When Hudson found out that it was Greaser that he was going into, he turned the fight over to Dave Adams. Dave Adams had just purchased the Zebo dog. So it was a case of two four-time winners, both aces, going into each other. And everybody knew it was going to be a hell of a fight. Now, one thing I once heard about Greaser, he got his name from his style of fighting. They used to say he was slippery. The dog couldn't hold him. He would slide and turn. And so, you could put it together. That's where the grease came from. So, that's different. So let's see. Everybody knew it was going to be a hell of a fight. It was two completely different style dogs going against one another. Zebo was the head-up dog that had the devastating bite, was smart, with wrestling ability, and he was tough. Greaser, on the other hand, was not a hard biter. And notice, anybody new to the game, when they say ace, that means he's the top of the line of his weight class. He's flawless, basically. And an ace don't always mean a hard biter, because during that time, by top dogmen, Greaser was considered an ace. And what they said about him, he wasn't a hard biter. He was an ear dog and a nose dog, and he liked to stay away from his opponent until his opponent got wore down, and then he would go in and try to finish him off. So he was basically what I call a defensive dog. But he had previously whipped 4 very good dogs in the hands of famous dogmen. When the time came and the dogs hit together, Greaser was able to keep Zebo off him. He got his favorite hold on Zebo, which was the lower jaw, and he hung on to him. Zebo would get to Greaser occasionally and hurt him. But at the 15-minute mark, we were on top. At the 30-minute mark, Greaser was leading Zebo around the pit by his nose. Zebo's tail was down, and Clyde Mason offered 3-1 odds with no takers. Clyde Mason also being a top dog man of that era. After the 30-minute mark, Greaser started going downhill. Zebo came to the top and commenced to doing what he does best, was getting one down in short rows. I don't remember for sure, but I think the fight went about an hour. Greaser had made a turn early in the match, which was his style. He would turn constantly, and both dogs scratched good, but it came to a point that we felt we still had a chance to win, but we will more than likely lose Greaser. So we picked him up. We wanted to scratch, and Zebo made a good courtesy scratch. We got Greaser home. We saved him, got him up in good shape, and we had him worm. We had him check for worms, and he was full of hookworms. And we think possibly that might have been a reason for him not being in the right kind of shape. But in a final analysis, Zebo won and Greaser lost. And that's the way it goes. It was good that we made that decision because Greaser went on to produce a number of champions and one grand champion. He was only bred to 3 bitches before he died of old age. Now, one thing I always heard that Greaser didn't, you never heard nothing of Greaser after that match. But they said he produced good dogs. This content is not for no promotion of no illegal activity, strictly for historical and information only. Take it easy.